Welcome to Getting Aligned, a human design podcast where we dive into the endless journey of self-discovery using human design. This podcast is created for individuals who want to know how human design can assist them on the road towards self-awareness, healing, and personal growth by uncovering the unique blueprint that shapes each of us. From practical insights to profound revelations, Getting Aligned will be your companion on this transformative journey as we collectively step into our purpose. Whether you're new to human design or a seasoned explorer, there's something here for everyone. So, grab your favorite beverage, settle into something comfortable, and let's embark on this adventurous journey of self-discovery together. It's time that we all rediscover who we were born to be. Hey there, Soul Tribe, Soul Fam. It is your host, James Williams. Welcome back to another episode of the Somatic Human Design Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the human design types and their specific strategies that are basically what allows you to live your life without resistance. So understanding your type really is sort of the crux of the process of your experiment. And, for me, human design is about sort of self-awareness, self-discovery, and self-acceptance, right? Self-awareness, beginning the process of recognizing that, something's not working, things are not working out the way that I feel that they should be, or I just feel like I'm not living to my fullest potential, right? That requires a lot of self-awareness. Self-discovery process is really just exploring different tools and strategies out there that are, meant to all be helping us on our, individual and unique journeys. And then human design comes in and says, there's a way in which you can show up energetically speaking, more correctly for yourself and for others, right? And once you begin to understand your type, once you begin to follow your strategy, honor your authority, you will then be able to feel a little bit more fulfilled in the things that you do, right? And so that is the final step towards really just, accepting who you were meant to be in this world. So, yeah, I think before jumping into your type, or before jumping into the types, I'm going to talk a little bit about the transit. So the sun has now entered into gate 19. This is the gate of wanting. So for me, this is about connections. This is about how do we recognize that we as a collective need to work together in order to have our basic needs met, to be able to be of service to each other, right? So I think it's a lot about examining, or you may have felt over the last couple of days since the transit began, you might be curious about how can I show up for others in a way that feels really correct for me, really supportive for me. On a high vibe, that is what this gate is all about. On a low vibration, it might be turned inward. It might be worries or doubts about how is anyone going to show up for me? How is anyone going to be able to support me? And so with this gate 19, this gate of wanting, we really want to look outward for a moment. And again, this is showing up and supporting people in a way, again, that feels correct for you. If, simple, reaching out to some of your loved ones, if you feel really called to do that, I invite you to do so. If you want to speak about, some of the injustices that you're noticing, or, donations and contributions, like there's many different ways that we can show up and support others, even if we may not be going through the greatest time in our own lives. So, yeah. All right. So let's jump back into some of the magic. So really, when human design talks about your type, they're basically talking about your aura and how your aura works, how your specific aura interacts with others. So really understanding your type is really saying, how does my aura show up for me? How does it work for me? How you might, if you are into human design, there's sort of the traditional way that human design is looked at, and then there's the more, modern way. So in traditional human design, everyone falls into one of four categories. There, the founder Ra would say that someone is either, a manifester, a generator, a projector, or a reflector. Traditionally, human design lumps generators and manifesting generators into one category. As Ra would say, a generator is a generator is a generator. However, many folks now recognize the importance of honoring how manifesting generators differ. So there, of the types in human design, an individual will either be a manifester, a generator, a manifesting generator, a projector, or a reflector. Again, each type has its own unique aura that works for the betterment of the person. Each type has a specific strategy that helps them to live life without experiencing resistance. Each type has a not self theme and a signature goal to achieve in this lifetime. One of the things I used to believe and came to understand is that it doesn't matter which human design type you have. We're all capable of doing and being and achieving our goals as long as it is in a way that works for us, as long as we got there through following our strategy and our authority. Energy works and looks very differently for each type, yet we all have the capacity to maybe be speakers or, to be business owners, to whatever your dreams may be, to be a singer, right? Whatever it may be, as long as you follow your strategy and your authority to get there, that is what is the most important thing that I've had to continue to understand and learn throughout this process, throughout my experimenting. So if you are a manifester, as a manifester, you represent about 10% of the human population. You are considered an energy type, yet you are still different from a manifesting generator and a generator because you do not have sacral definition. So in the previous episode, I talked about all 9 centers, and I specifically talked about the sacral center being one of 4 motor centers, right? So if you are a manifester, you do not have a sacral definition. However, you still have at least one motor connected to your throat. All the motors, again, are energy centers. So manifester with a defined throat, meaning you have a consistent and reliable. So this is like piecing the previous episode information with the current information that I'm talking about today. So manifestors have a consistent and reliable way of engaging in expression and kickstarting things into action. Manifestors, as a manifestor, you're here, you enjoy and are able to function independently while you are still also able to be very impactful to others. You may struggle with the fear of being controlled because that is how we tend to raise children in our society and as well as other elements of conditioning. So manifestors tend to fear being controlled, but it is through following your strategy that you're able to honor that. You're able to work through that fear and also get other people sort of on board with what you need and helping them to also understand you. So when the manifestor walks into a room, as a manifestor, your aura in traditional human design language, your aura has been described as closed and repellent. Because of this word repellent, it can be triggering. It's very difficult for folks to hear certain words and certain languages that traditional human design, it can be very challenging to hear the traditional human design language. But I'd like to say that the aura is maybe closed and protective, a very closed and protective aura, meaning people are really trying to look over into the pool pen, trying to see what it is you're doing because they really can't read you. That's how I would describe sort of the closed and protective aura. People are really uncertain about what it is you're thinking, what it is you may need. And so this is what they feel on the opposite end. You may see this. This is also, though, how you begin to impact others. This is what gets you the attention that you may not always want, but definitely need in order for you to be able to impact others. Your aura does the talking for you. And that's the same for all of us. Our aura does the talking for us if used correctly. So your aura, going backwards a little bit, growing up, this is really an interesting experience for a parent to probably have a child and not really understand what their child needs, right? Like to be able to maybe read their child. And so growing up, the folks that I've talked to who are manifestors, as well as other, people who have dove into human design, there could be a really huge power struggle amongst a manifested child and the parent because of that impactful aura. And so the parent might have then decided to try to force more control or try to find a way to gain more control, which only created, probably more of a resistance or rebellion. So many people that I've heard talk about manifestors, as well as the people that I've met, can concur that childhood, there was a lot of power in power and struggle and control going on there. So manifestors who fear, they fear being controlled by others, they may find themselves in this not self theme of anger. So for a manifestor, your indication that something's not right is when you're typically operating from a not self place. You're probably feeling anger. That's a signal of saying, hey, where can you practice your strategy more? Where can you follow your authority more? So for all manifestors, the best way to navigate and shift out of your not self is by following your strategy of informing. Informing is letting others know that you are getting ready to make a decision before you make it. In this day and age, it's really difficult. Again, we don't really raise children this way. But as an adult, your strategy is not you giving away your power or having others try to dominate or make decisions for you. It is just simply you letting them know what's going on behind that aura, right? So it's allowing them to basically take a sneak peek behind the curtain to see what you're actually doing. And then they feel a little bit more at ease. They feel a little bit more okay. You basically, again, you inform them, you let them know what was going on, and then you can go about your day and acting on your decisions. When you are informing, you're able to live your day in your signature goal of peace. So when you're feeling at peace, you are able to let go and go. You are able to go on creating, envisioning, and dreaming of all the magnificent, wonderful things that you're here to dream up. You are able to manifest until your heart feels content. So manifesting generators and generators, you share a lot in terms of aura, not self-theme, strategy, and signature. There's obviously small variations, but for the most part, there is a common shared experience amongst generator types. So if you're a manifesting generator or generator, you are considered an energy being because you have a defined sacral center. Or again, defined sacral center. Sacral center is one of the 4 motor centers. But what makes a manifesting generator a variation is that they have a defined throat that is connected to one of the 4 motor centers. According to Ra, a direct connection from your sacral to your throat via channel 20 to 34, he says that is what makes a man-gen considered a sort of pure manifesting generator, again, because their throat and their sacral are connected. But nonetheless, generators and manifesting generators combined, They represent about 70% of the human population. And so that is the dominant energy on this planet that is here to create, to build. You are such powerful, energetic beings. The true meaning of do what lights you up. Ironically, that was my first podcast episode, but I think it speaks completely true. I mean, we can all do what lights us up, but for manifesting generators and generators, you are literally here to build and to create the things that you absolutely find enjoyable and powerful in this lifetime. Do what you absolutely love, and you will be able to build something truly amazing, truly wonderful. You will have the stamina, the energy to be able to see it to its completion, and you will feel completely satisfied. The aura of a man-gen or generator is considered open and enveloping, partly because they take in, you're taking in everything around you into your auric field. And this concept that it is enveloping is that you're actually putting this creative life force energy out into the world from your sacral energy, from your sacral center. So you're putting out whatever it is that you're feeling. So if you're in your not self theme, it is going to be massively and deeply felt by others. The not self theme for man-gens and generators is frustrations. This is when you know, hey, something's not going well, something's not right. What can I do? Where can I start to practicing my strategy and honoring my authority? Again, and to note, I want to say, through practicing your strategy, you will start to work through, you're able to work through the not self theme of frustration. Your strategy is to wait and respond. You are responding to the primal sounds that your body makes. In my last episode, I talked about the sacral center's response to external stimuli, and the sacral response is a nonverbal and often vibrational response that's very primal. So this is the for yes, the for no, and generally no sound, no vibration indicates not right now. For manifesting generators, the way that your strategy works a little bit differently than a generator. You are waiting for the response in your body, but then you're also paying close attention to where your body, what the physical movement towards the specific stimuli that you're looking at. So it's waiting to respond and then knowing where your body is being pulled towards. That is sort of one of the differences in the way in which man-gen's strategy works. Some people will also say that you have to wait to respond, wait for that moment of truth, and then inform. That might be more comfortable for you. This is all about practicing, but that might be something that's a little bit more comfortable for you. Waiting for the moment of response. I'm waiting for your body's response and then informing or noticing what your body is moving towards. So my current roommate, she's a man-gen, and we were talking about like going out to grab food or something, or she was telling me something about grabbing food. And she was like, I was really craving this thing all day. And as she went towards the store to get it, as she was heading out and driving to go get whatever it is that she was craving, she actually changed her mind in that moment and went towards, a different direction to order something completely different. That's like a small, pretty good example of like following your strategy. Is you might be responding to something as a man-gen, like that sounds really good, I really want that, but right before I go get it, my mind completely changes and I find myself wanting something different. That would be a little bit more in alignment for you. So here's the signature for generator and manifesting generator. The signature goal that you're here to experience in this lifetime is satisfaction. The saying is that you will only truly resonate with satisfaction from a felt sense, from a sense of a felt sense or state. So if you let go of trying to operate as a manifester, which is, straight, going into action mode, if you allow your body to respond to the things around you, you will be able to respond to your mission and your purpose. My fellow projector. So if you are a projector, you are considered a non-energy being. As a projector, you have no sacral definition. This is obviously a deeply personal type because this is my type. I am a projector. And so, projectors have no motor centers connected to the throat. This means that there is no consistent generating energy or manifesting energy. As about 21% of the population, projectors are here to use the wisdom from others, use the energy from others to help them, guide them in ways that allow them to use their energy more effectively and efficiently. So projectors are the newest type coming into the planet around 1781. So projectors are moving into this position in this hierarchy position of leading, being the leaders in the world, helping people, guiding people, helping them to be truly working smarter, not harder. And the unique gift for a projector comes obviously from their aura and understanding how their aura impacts others. So projectors can see deeply into others. This can cause a lot of issues because you might see people struggling and you might jump to action and try to help people, but not understanding that that's not how it's going to work for a projector. You have to wait. You have to be invited in order to be able to support people. Your aura is described as focused and absorbing. The projector aura is it penetrates an individual's G center. It sees often how other people can best use their energy. Projectors cannot see themselves the way that they see others. So about 80% of the world, combined with manifestor, which represents about 10%, and generators combined represent about 70%. There's a lot of energy types out there that can easily cause a non-energy being to get swept up in the hustle and bustle. But projectors are here to be recognized by others for their gifts and to be able to help others in a way that is energetically correct. The not self theme for a projector is bitterness. So when you are not being seen, when you are not being recognized for the magnificent being that you are, this leads you to a state of bitterness. A projector can become fixated on trying to force themselves to be seen by others, trying to force themselves into relationships or into situations that are just not energetically correct. And this creates a lot more resistance. Now, personally, when talking about non-energy beings, projectors and reflectors, I used to say, oh my God, I don't have energy to do these things. But what I started to reframe was I don't have the energy to do things that are not for me anymore. Because when I am invited into situations, when I am recognized, I get all of a sudden all the energy I need to see that thing into, creation or helping that person. So both projectors and reflectors can benefit from understanding that. So the strategy for a projector in order to help them live life without resistance is, again, waiting to be truly recognized and invited. Waiting is the name of the game, but it is also extremely difficult. Ra says that projectors are deeply, deeply, deeply conditioned, even more so than others because of their focused and absorbing aura and because of their openness. Projectors have often been, maybe described as lazy and unmotivated, but you are capable of having and doing anything and everything you want when you enter through your strategy. There's nothing passive about waiting. And it doesn't matter if you are a projector, a reflector, or a generator, or man-gen. There's nothing passive about waiting. Like, you're still here to do all the things that you feel lit up by, inspired by. It is just a matter of waiting for those right specific moments in order to, enter in relationships with others. The signature for a projector is success. You will have a sense of fulfillment when you are successfully invited into a partnership and able to help. It is also important to discern, though, really valuable and authentic invitations. Keyword, authenticity. Authentic invitations. You are gifted at helping people get to the bottom of their struggles, but it is an energetic exchange. So I will use your energy to help you get where you need to go. I think that's magnificent. And then lastly, we have the originators. We have our reflectors. Absolutely love reflectors. Reflectors are also, again, a non-energy being. They do not have definition anywhere in any of their centers, actually. That's what makes them completely different. Their centers are completely white, and they are completely rare, representing about 1% of the population. The purpose of a reflector, their energy is here, their type is here to basically reflect back to others their energy, their authenticity, their power, and it does it in a specific and a unique way. It does this by tasting the frequency of others. Unlike other types, reflectors are also considered lunar beings. They're not solar beings. They are ruled by the positions and the shifting of the moon. Because the moon rotates through each of the gates much quicker, it takes about 28 to 28 days or so to circle through all 64 gates. That is what makes the reflectors get a little bit of tasting and sampling of all of the energy each of the gates had to offer. So the aura of a reflector, the environment is absolutely everything for a reflector. I mean, for many of us, but especially for a reflector, because being in the correct environment allows them to operate freely. It allows them to sample and taste the energy of others. There's this openness in their chart also creates a protection and a shield. So as a reflector, their aura is considered resistant and sampling. They're basically tasting a little bit of everyone else, but they're not deeply connecting. But they're not here to deeply connect or, pull in this definition that is not theirs. So I guess in a way, reflectors and manifestors have sort of a protective type of an aura. Ra considers the reflector aura to be like Teflon, that things can roll right off if following and honoring their type correctly. Staying in a toxic environment for a reflector is extremely detrimental. I literally have met 2 reflectors since getting into human design. Like 2 reflectors. I think it's beautiful just to see how they're so similar and so different, so innocent. How they can be so truly childlike and innocent, and it's a beautiful thing to see when individuals are operating correctly. The not self theme for reflectors is disappointment. Reflectors are really meant to be in the center of everything so that they can see everything. They can truly taste everything. So disappointment can come from attaching yourself to one thing or to one person rather than allowing yourself to be, again, the kid in the candy store. So my friend, when we first got into human design, or when I got into human design, I started to, talk about how important it was in my life. She had pulled up her chart, and I think she may have put like birth date and birth month in alternate positions, and it actually had said, okay, you're a projector. And so, a couple of weeks goes by, and then I actually, started to do practice readings for folks. And then I read her chart for her, and I could hear the immediate disappointment of like, wait, what? That's not me. Like spent the last couple of weeks diving into things, so disappointment is, super, super, like a goalpost of, hey, align yourself, realign yourself. One of the ways in which, again, we do this is by following our strategy. And so the strategy for reflectors, which is also their personal authority, by the way, is to wait through a lunar cycle, which is approximately about 28 days. Again, this is this is again connected to the moon, and it's going through all of the cycles. When faced with something monumental, like something massive that's happening, we tell, reflectors to, as best you can, really try to wait the 28 days before making some of these monumental decisions. So it's helpful to talk things out with others each and every day, not again to seek the approval of others, but just to listen to the different points of views that you're going to take. You're basically listening to the different gate activations as they happen in real time each day. So you can actually there's a couple of things that I've done when I've been practicing observing my, there's just the transits in general. So mybodygraph.com, they actually have a new feature in their website where you can actually monitor the transits in your specific chart, and you can see how they change on a month-to-month basis. So I think if that's helpful for you, then I invite you to go to mybodygraph.com, create a profile, upload your information, again, birth date, birth time, location information, and you'll be able to pull up your type. But then you'll also be able to see how your type works each day, or how it looks differently through the different transits. Okay. So the signature for reflectors is surprise. Living moment to moment, day to day, allows a reflector to be free in their experience, to remain unattached to others, and feel completely surprised. You can surprise yourself and surprise others by the decisions and things that you make. Again, always using my friend as an example, I love when she surprises herself and others with the things that she's been doing or sitting on. Like, her creating a business, absolutely in alignment for her as a reflector, because she can, wait and take her time with, building things up or creating things, and then surprising everyone to be like, hey, I've been working on this thing for, a month or so. I think it's incredibly beautiful to see anyone and everyone try to live their design. I love being able to just connect with others and talk to others about how they are practicing living their human design types. And so if you feel called, you can, message me at shdinstitute@gmail.com. You can reach me on the socials, and the links for that will be in the show notes. I just like hearing others and their experience. I just, again, think we're all able to do and create magic and wonders in this world. Just requires us to, do it in a way that is in align for us. And so until next time, this is a projector here, just wanting to create a little bit of projector magic in the world. And I'll talk to you soon.